Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're finally doing a Strokes tier list, our first ever tier list video.
First tier list.
And we're not going to do the Strokes EP, which is on the tier list. We're not going to do that because we haven't heard it yet. And if you guys want us to really hear it, that badly, you can let us know. But we just thought it's best to stick to albums, proper albums. That's what we've kind of always...
No mixtapes.
wanted to keep our channel as. So unless there's a ridiculously overwhelming amount of you who want to see it, then we probably won't do it. But we'll probably listen to it in our own time, to be honest. So,
might get around to it.
We might do. And sorry about all the adverts and shit, just the shit quality. I don't really know how to make a tier list properly myself. Maybe I could if I spent the time, but on the time we're on today,
we're experimenting, so
we're just hopping right onto a website, to be honest.
This is what's the word? Like new territory for us.
Definitely. So. If any of you have experience with those sorts of things, you could let us know. Any tips and tricks. If it's something we could do, customised ourselves.
We're doing Word, actually.
Maybe. Anyway, getting into it, we're going to start from the debut album till the new abnormal.
Right.
So, is this it? What are your thoughts, just overall?
Probably
first one you reacted to on the channel.
Yeah. Wow. What a long time ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might go out on a limb straight away and say it's probably my favourite album. I think it's got the most
favourite album overall
for the Strokes.
Favourite Strokes album, yeah.
Yeah, favourite Strokes album. To me, it's got the most memorable songs on it, and good strong feel of nostalgia, and just music it's got meaning, but it can also work as easy listening. So my favourite. So S for me.
I'm gonna be all annoying and complicated, but I don't really have a favourite that I can pinpoint. I've always found it hard, but there's things about it that definitely other albums from the Strokes lack, I'd say.
Yeah. Namely,
the ability to just play it any day. It always will work with your day and your mood.
Yeah.
And it just feels iconic, feels raw. Definitely has elements to it that make it definitely one of the best for sure, but I just can't say it is the best. So what tier are you thinking for this one?
S.
For you, that would make sense.
I am thinking S, yeah.
I'm thinking either S or A. So we're going to go with you because it's your favourite one, and we're going to put it in there.
Yeah, I feel so strongly about it.
But I do love it. Alright, on to Room on Fire.
The Room is on Fire. Oof. So this one, I remember at the time Defo not liking it as much as...
Yeah.
But it has grown on me a bit. But... I would probably put this one in either A or B for me.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking either A or B as well. Yeah, I think the reasons are, I feel to me it's a slight, just lesser version of their first album.
Exactly.
And I feel the fact that it obviously took place afterwards doesn't really help it in terms of thinking outside the box, improving and just elevating their career and going in a different direction, because we know they did it after they've already done something similar. So
yeah.
That's what for me kind of puts it down there. But I guess what I've just said means I think if we're being fair, we should probably put it in the B tier.
Put it all the way down in the B tier.
Yeah. To give room to other albums that are different, I think that might be it. But I mean, we can change things at the end, so this is just for now.
We can always look at it and
it's
say,
easier when there's space around to use. But yeah, it's a very good album. It's just more the way it kind of came out and the way it came about that makes it not quite as good as it could be if they only had that album, for example.
Yeah.
If Is This It never came out, then for the Strokes this could be an A or S tier album, but it's the fact that Is This It was already out.
Relative.
It's all relative, yeah. Anyway, moving on to First Impressions of Earth.
First Impressions of Earth. I like this one. YOLO's kind of, probably I'd say at the moment, not always, but at the moment is actually my favourite Strokes song.
It's such a good one, and it kind of has the same feel to early Strokes albums, despite the fact the album changes so much afterwards.
Yeah.
The start of that album is probably the best first song of any of their albums in my opinion.
Yeah. But
for me,
I'm not sure if it is better than their second album.
Mm.
So
it's a very tough one.
For that reason, I probably would want to put that in the B tier,
but
then the B tier might start to look a bit bloated.
Yeah, we'll just
because there's another album that I kind of want to put in the B tier. So.
But yeah, like for me, this album, it kind of has just a lot of elements to it that were so different that I appreciated from the first two albums, and it was maybe a bit of a bloated album in terms of 14 tracks compared to their albums being a bit shorter, but I don't think it was bloated in terms of repetitiveness or anything like that. But it's tough because I think those things do come into the critique when you're critiquing an album, and structure, etc. do matter.
Yeah.
But I do have love for it, that probably more so than Room and Fire in terms of, you know, if I want to listen to Room and Fire, I probably would just listen to Is This It instead.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it is different.
Yeah.
So it's very close for me, but if I'm talking fair and actually off of the right sort of musical critique framework that should be, I don't think I can put it above Room on Fire for those reasons either.
Yeah, but then Room on Fire doesn't really have a USP, you know, it doesn't really have its gap in the market.
Exactly.
So
I reckon we'll put it on B for now, but it's very likely we'll change things around. I mean, it's just bound to happen. Yeah. Bound to.
Oh, reference.
Alright, now we're moving on to Angles.
Angles. I like this one. This one was weird.
I really like Angles.
He loves Angles.
I only listened to it just the summer gone that was before we started the channel.
Am I allowed to look at track lists on my phone quickly just to refresh my memory a bit on some of these?
Yeah, but I mean, ever since I first heard it, I've just been absolutely in love with it. Not to be all cliche. Yeah, I've actually loved it so much.
Yeah, I've noticed that from your algorithm. After any album stops playing, it instantly starts playing Angles.
And yeah, that's a really strong opener as well on Angles as well.
Defo.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
Very good song. And so many good songs in there. I don't think there's a song in there that I think, this could just, the album could do without it. I think it's just strong throughout. And it's just new as well and diverse from their old stuff. And yeah, I think it hit the mark in many ways.
It sounds like it's heading for the A tier.
Yeah, I think for me it has to be A tier.
A tier. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I agree.
But we've got more tiers to use here, so it's quite likely we'll be moving things up and down to kind of spread them out.
The thing is, because we're only rating 5 things.
Yeah.
No, 6.
6 things, yeah.
6 things. Yeah, it's going to be like, there might be an empty tier down the bottom or something.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to call anything trash, to be totally honest. At least I doubt that's going to happen.
It's wrong to call anything trash.
But yeah, also remember this is all relative to the Strokes, so it's not like if we put something in like the C or D tiers, doesn't mean that compared to other music it's actually that bad, because to be honest, the Strokes are just a fucking brilliant band. Yeah, so most of their music would be A tier just in general.
I was thinking if we we did like an Arctic Monkeys and the Strokes tier list in the same tier list, I doubt you'd see anything from the Strokes that are below a C.
No, definitely not. I don't even know about below a B. Maybe just about a C.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all relative, and that's kind of the intention of the video. That's why we're doing it this way.
Yeah.
Probably understandable anyway. We probably don't need to worry about it too much. But
anyway. No, I think it's important to say that if we put something in the S tier, that doesn't mean it's S for all music. And if we put something in the trash, that doesn't mean it's like bottom tier music. You know, there's like an artist, like, I don't know, none of their music would get above, like, if you went grand scale, none of it would get above like
of course,
an A or whatever.
But yeah, it's not to say that if we put something in the S tier, it isn't actually S tier either. But I guess you'll never know. Probably won't tell you what we think, but it's got to be pretty good for it to be S tier, even relative to it.
Maybe if we ever retire, the last video we'll ever do is an every single album we've ever listened to tier list.
That would be probably like a 48-hour sit down, I reckon. Probably have to stream that one. Yeah. Don't think my laptop could handle the gigabytes of that. But anyway.
Get the big rig out for that one.
Yeah. Anyway. Moving on to Comedown Machine, which is the most recent one we reacted to, and the most recent one I heard as well, because I hadn't heard it before either. So the most recent addition to our Strokes experience, I guess.
For me, we're going to go out strongly again. This is defo my least favourite Strokes that I've heard. So I want to kind of put this toward the C or D. I thought it was a bit weird and not too much replayability for me personally.
Yeah, I think you felt a bit more strongly about it than me, but I definitely would say relative to everyone else, it's also my least favourite.
Yeah.
But I think there was a couple tracks on there I did enjoy for a while after. But I think also there was a lot of bias involved for me because it was like, this is different. I haven't even heard it yet, but I know the Strokes so well.
Yeah.
And, you know, they've gone in a direction I never thought they'd go in. I can see the links between where they got to and this. And I was kind of getting obsessed with those things instead of the actual music and how good it actually is.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think now, like, with a bit of time, although I did already think it was one of their worst at the time, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of solidified it as definitely not as good as any of their others, to be honest, in terms of just outright quality of music. So
Yeah.
I think either C or D for me, and probably D if we're going to be real, because we're going to
Yeah.
move things around and we need some space. But it's still a decent album.
I feel mean to it now that it's just I got a whole
Yeah.
tier in between all the
Yeah.
others.
Alright, well, we both started our Strokes journeys, funnily enough, on this album. Both off camera, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's their most recent album, so you can imagine we've only actually known them for like maximum 2 years, and
Yeah.
Joe definitely there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this album.
Me too. I love
It's
it as well.
obviously what got me into them. Why would I carry on listening to them if I
It's
didn't?
got great songs all the way through it. I think that's the thing that makes. I don't want to spoil where I want to put it, but I think that's what separates this one and Is This It? Is that like there's so many like individual tracks that it's just like so strong like by themselves. It just like even if it was just like that song and like 6 shit songs, I still want to listen to the album just for that song.
Yeah, no, it is.
And there's like several songs off that album that make me feel that way.
Yeah.
So,
and it kind of like strikes all of the differences between their albums
yeah.
and kind of like modern music, and kind of just brings it all together, so it's just a wide appeal.
Yeah.
And it's not in that's not in a negatively connotated way, because I wouldn't even say it's like a radio album at all. It's really not.
No.
It's just genuinely just it can suit a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it brings in a lot of elements that I like.
I think like recently I've been listening to like a podcast by people that make a TV show, and they always talk about like we hadn't found the TV show by this point.
Yeah.
I think like the Strokes at this point have found the Strokes.
Yeah.
And they know how to make great Strokes music.
Yeah,
and I think
100%.
that's what that album shows, is that they like really found themselves.
Yeah.
And it bangs.
And hopefully it continues as well, because that was only a couple of years ago, so hopefully in a year or two we'll get another one. Or maybe even next week, who knows?
Yeah. So, S tier.
Yeah.
For me.
I can't deny that. Alright, now, reshuffling. I think the B tier, I kind of just have to put First Impressions of Earth a little bit lower. Just for the sake of, you know, increments, and yes, it only might be slightly worse, but it shouldn't be on the same tier if it even is slightly worse.
Yeah.
So, for the sake of being able to actually compare,
Sorry,
we'll
YOLO.
put it. But if I could, you know, I'd hover it around here. But I'm not
This
gonna
is
do
like
that.
that's the same as using decimals.
Exactly.
It's a cop out. It's a cop out.
But I think this looks quite healthy for me.
Yeah, I'm happy.
This looks quite good.
That was a big change at the end. No, like I don't really feel strongly against. I feel like the thing that would be controversial, I feel like, is us putting Angles above Room on Fire. I think that one could be.
Some people might not like that,
but I think Angles is like, it's like fresh. It's more.
I just
unique.
enjoy it more, quite simply.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what you have to go with. But
Yeah.
I think the reason why it's not S tier, for example, is because it does sort of lack the like classic Strokes appeal and feel.
Yeah.
And, you know, the New Abnormal was similar to Angles in terms of the new sound, but it kind of still has all the old stuff mixed in with it, and you can really feel that they're the Strokes. I'm not saying that Angles doesn't feel like the Strokes, but definitely less so. But it's just a very good album and really fun to listen to, so I can't put it any lower either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, this is my ultimate tier list for the Strokes albums.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Ultimate.
you agree.
I wouldn't say it's the ultimate tier list.
Yeah, I
because
mean,
if I do
hopefully they carry on making music and it will be penultimate. Or, you know.
if I do a lot of listening, then you always find new things to appreciate about different things. So this is our sort of penultimate tier list.
Yeah.
Maybe even double penultimate.
Yeah, whatever you say, tri-ultimate, probably not actually.
Tri-ultimate.
But yeah, hopefully you guys aren't too annoyed about the fact there's that EP just sitting at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Because we'd like to keep the
Should
integrity of our
Should we
channel.
just put it trash?
Come on now, that's disrespectful. We haven't even heard it.
You
It
can't
wants to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I can't actually move it. Okay. Well, it's not trash. I'm very
Get
sorry about
fucked.
that. I'll make sure that's not in the thumbnail either. Or maybe I should for
We want to be controversial. Yeah, she put his
Someone's gonna get angry,
trash,
see that that's in trash, and be like, no, I can't watch this video. Why are they saying it's trash?
If you're here because of that, get clickbaited.
As of now, this is our Strokes tier list. I hope you've enjoyed. Let us know what you think. You can even give us your whole tier list yourself. Just, S, etc. Just everything. Just list them. Yeah. We're intrigued to know what you think. And like the video if you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And subscribe as always.
10 likes and we'll do a Frank Ocean tier list with only his Spotify albums.
That's a lot of albums. Anyway, guys, have a happy new year and we'll see you next time.